Head bow to you, Prince. I think you're absolutely right. I think that Yahuwah recorded Isaiah 12 because this nation is not going to wake up until a catastrophe happens, and it's coming. It's just a matter of time. But this nation is so asleep and so full of pride and arrogance, it's going to take something really big. And when Edom's men are on their knees, like Yahuwah said, screaming from pain and fear, like a woman travailing, I think that's when they're going to wake up, and I think that's when they're going to come to him. Let me tell you something you don't know, because it wasn't taught. No, Baya. Go over there. When Pharaoh of Egypt lost his army, his people, everything, in the end, when it was just him and Yahuwah, he praised Yahuwah's name. Remember in Isaiah 12, he said, praise my name. And he said, truly, you are the Elohim. He made a man that called himself a god bend down and say, you are truly the Elohim. The Elohim means one. Just one. And this is in the book of Yasher. And it says that Yah was so moved by it that he spared his life. And he took him and made him a king over a people that did not even belong to him. Book of Yasher. That's something that they didn't tell us. When he came to the end, and all was gone, and there's just nothing else. When you come to the end of your rope, you know it. And Pharaoh said, truly, you are the Elohim, and I praise your name, Yahuwah. And that's why his life was spared. It's in there. It's written. The Second Testament doesn't even line, there's nothing in there that even lines up, and they use so many words. You don't even know that when Yahuwah is talking about the beast coming out of the sea, he's talking about Edom. They are near King Nebuchadnezzar, beasts of the field. Remember, he got a punishment for 7 years. He lived like an animal. And sometimes the people that they teach us are bad people. They're not bad at all. Like Iran, the Magi, they're already here. And what did Yahuwah say in 13 Isaiah? He said, I'm going to bring my mighty ones. He said, my mighty ones. He didn't say they were wicked. Even Hitler said that he felt like he was doing the will of God. In his diaries, I read them, I studied them, everything he said. He said, I believe that I'm doing the will of God. Well, it just happens to be that these very people were exactly who King Saul was sent to wipe from the earth, because they think of nothing, night and day, Yahuwah said, but how to wipe the Hebrews off of the face of the earth. And Yahuwah said, but I will not let it be so. And that is why King David was appointed, because Saul disobeyed. And Samuel told him so. You lost the crown this time. They are the very same people. The United States teaches us that Russia is bad, but yet 98% of the United States is backing Russia. Because he's not bad. He has a right. And Yahuwah said in Ezekiel 38 and 39, I'm going to use the brothers that you shunned, that you kept your foot on. And that is King Putin, Russia, and it is Iran. Trying to tell Iran what kind of weapons they can have to protect themselves. Who the fuck do you think you are? Yahuwah said, I'm going to break that horn of power. And it's gone because nobody fears him anymore. And they see them going into extinction. And Yah said that these Muslims that are over here, because everybody's been lied to by Edom, but he said that they love my name. So who's really bad? Who's bad? We have to be careful of what we're being taught. And if you're not being taught by Yahuwah alone, you're going to be deceived. So I think that was a beautiful point, Prince, and my head is bowed to you, and thank you for your comment, my DM. No? Huh? Thank you for my comment and the comment in my DM. I totally agree with you. It's going to take something big to knock them on their ass. It's like Trump just said that when he went against Canada and talked shit about Isaac. I mean, about a son of Jacob being the tribe of Issachar, the royal tribe of Issachar. Mexico. Don't you see how everything is closing in on this place? And now Canada is against the United States because of Trump. I also brought you evidence that Trump and Russia are good friends, and they're having a laugh because you don't even know where he got those votes he was talking about. He got them from Russia. That soldier told you that, and that they were laughing at you. You know, if you don't listen, it's like when that rabbi was telling you that McDonald's has food you probably really don't want to eat. I don't want to say anything, but you don't want to be a cannibal. You know, he said, if I tell you and you just keep eating there, whose fault is it? That's what we have to tell you. All of these nations, even Jacob, Mexico, Cuba, all of them are coming against this place. They have to tear it down. And I read you in 13, Isaiah, that what is going to happen if Yahuwah finds you with them, doing what they do. And I brought him to tell you, 100 views on that video and not one like to Yahuwah for saying thank you and putting a stop to the wickedness. They see this is a very twisted and a perverted generation, just like he said. It's amazing to me, but it also separates the goats from the sheep. And so for the comments in my DM, I really appreciate you, because you don't have to leave them on the talk, and I understand why you don't. But thank you for coming to the DMs. That lets Yahuwah know this is his stuff, and he's the only one speaking here. So I wanted to give you that, Prince, and I appreciate your comment. I appreciate your support. And find Yahuwah. He's the only salvation coming. And he's the one that's going to say hey or nay. And he knows his own. And yes, he knows your heart. Anybody that celebrated that Thanksgiving shit, I don't feel sorry for you. You get everything you deserve. Because you do know. I even heard 2 YouTubers say, and I know the history of it, but we just use it to think he's not going to overlook that. You have 666 across your forehead, property of Rome. You're not going to play those games with Father. He knows you. And evidently you don't know him because he's not playing today. So the message was delivered. And I would separate myself from Rome and everything they do, or you're going to go down with it. And I showed you that, and he told you himself. And that is why he had it recorded. So I'm going to wrap this up for the day. It's been a very busy day. I know it blessed you, and I know it fed you, and I know it gave you some things to think about. I know it did. You either want a shepherd that abandoned his flock, which is this Roman government that Yahuwah talks about in Jeremiah, Isaiah, Ezekiel, all of them. Or you want a shepherd that is going to watch over you and feed you and take care of you and most of all guard your life. Shalom.